from Detroit, Bob Kwolek. The former national singles champion from St. Louis, Missouri, Big Billy-Welu. Everybody, from the beautiful Emerson Lanes here in the industrial city of Parkersburg, West Virginia, and in the heart of the Ohio Valley, it's Championship Bowling, television's #1 bowling show. The world's greatest bowlers in action, $75,000 in prizes. This is Fred Wolf with two more of our field of 24 of the nation's top stars in a 3-game match, $1,000 to the winner, $500 to the runner-up. All competition is sanctioned by the American Bowling Congress. 300 games are worth $10,000, and on top of all that, a $250 bonus for 5 strikes in a row in any one game, and $50 more for every strike on top of those 5. We'll be ready to go. It'll be quite a match. Billy-Welu from St. Louis against Bob Kwolek from Detroit. We'll be ready for game #1 in just a moment. Bobby Kowalik from Detroit won the toss. He elected to start on the left side. All games starting on the left. The youngster ready, throws the big turn. He is too high, leaves the 4 and the 7. Bobby Kowalik, born in Detroit, started as a pin boy, comes from a bowling family. His father averaged 190 some years ago, attended McKenzie High School and Wayne State University. Is a draftsman by trade. Of course, now his trade a professional bowler. 4-7, he covers the spare. Sitting in with us this week, Johnny Gunther from Seattle, Washington. Johnny, a former champion on championship bowling. Winston-Salem would be his favorite city in this nation, I'm sure, down in North Carolina. Welcome, John. Here's Welu throwing. Looks good. He's there. And the big boy from St. Louis, a former national singles champion, has a great record, not only as a great competitor, but a great performer on television. Billy-Welu, 6 feet 4.5 inches, tips the scales at around 220 pounds, wears the bowler's glove on the strike, throws it out, the big turn, and he's there, and he gets the first kill. So Welu off to a great start, as the youngster from Detroit will have his hands full, moving in on the right side. Robert Kowalik was champion of the Championship Bowling Series from Northbrook, Illinois, including a great 290 game. He's there, and the 10 pin stops him. $250 for 5 strikes in a row in any one game. $1,000 to the winner, $500 to the runner-up. Over $75,000 in prizes on Championship Bowling, television's #1 bowling show, with the world's greatest bowlers performing every week. The cover, the 10 pin. Kowalik moves to the left. How about this match here? How are you picking this one, boy?
Well, it's going to be a toss-up, Freddie. Both boys look real good out there. Both throw that big. They're really turning the ball over real well, and I think we're going to have some good scores to do.
Well, they both go around. Here's Kowalik around, and he sets one in there. Not too far on that one. Well, we've watched this fella, this Kowalik bowl, many games. Bobby coming from Detroit, of course, as we do. He seems to have a lot of speed here this week at the Emerson Lanes in Parkersburg, West Virginia. Watching Billy-Welu. Very deep on the right. On to the big turn. It's there. He carries the 9-pin. The last one down. A very surprise lead. Billy was in tight. The 4-pin didn't budge. Might have been the 4-9, but the 4 was cleared out. The 9 didn't even move. So Welu now already on his way with the first 3. Takes a look at the approach. Doesn't like a little something that he sees. He's up short, just inside the 15-foot marker. 3 beautiful pocket hits. Here comes the big turn. That's number 4. So Welu now on his way, 1 strike away from a $250 bonus for 5 in a row in 1 game. 8 strikes away from $10,000. Up on the toes. Bobby will never get there. The 1, the 2, and the 8. You know, bowling establishments today are beautiful centers for fun and relaxation. So how about it there, Dad? Why don't you take the whole family bowling this weekend? Just look in the yellow pages. I bet there's a bowling center right around the corner. The 1, the 2, and the 8, look out. And Kowalik leaves the 8-pin. He did not get across. The ball going on through, and Kowalik is open in the 4th. Bobby moves left. We're in the 5th frame. Welu sets on 4. That's better. So Bobby has picked up a couple of strikes on the left side, made the big mistake here on the right side, as Welu now on 4. This strike worth $250. Billy playing very deep, playing just outside the 3rd arrow. Here it comes. Gotta hurry. He's got it. So Billy-Welu now on his way. And every strike from here on, of course, worth $50 additional. Unless he can make it all the way. If he goes all the way for $300, of course, it'll be the $10,000, and the bonus money will be dropped. About 50 pins over his opponent. Here comes the turn, and look out, the 4-pin stops him. So Welu stops at 5. A 2:30 game, filling the remaining 4 frames. So Welu has picked up $250 in bonus money, well on his way for the $1,000 which goes to the winner for the 3-game total. But I'm sure he's going to hear from his opponent before this one is over. Look out, 4-pin, he's got it. It looked like Billy might have pulled that one a bit. That spare shot there, have you any concern there with you, John? Looked like he might have missed that one.
He was going to go by a little bit on the left side there, Freddie.
Here's Kowalik now in the 6th. Bobby on a strike. He missed a head pin here on a strike in the 4th. It's on his mind. Here he comes this time. He's there. This time he carries. So we have Kowalik now in position. He needs 3 more for the bonus money. This will keep the boys busy. Bobby Kwolek, 1962 on the Professional Bowlers Tour, set a record for 25 games in the qualifying rounds. In the Indianapolis Open, averaged 225, and he'd leave many 10-pins doing that. Kowalik in solid. The 10-pin did not budge. These are brand new AMF tournament grade pins. The lanes reconditioned for every match. We don't make it too easy for the fellas. The cover and the spare. And Kowalik unable to get moving as Welu moves in on the right side. Big Billy. Here's a fellow who rolled an 806 total on television in Detroit, including a 290 game. He had 30 strikes out of a possible 36. We had the pleasure of being right there for that one. Look out, Billy. Too high, breaks it up, nothing but the 6-pin. Had a very big year in 1963. As the boys say, he finished second to almost everybody in almost any event. He was runner-up in the National All-Star at Kansas City to Dick Weber. runner-up in the National Bowlers Journal Singles Classic in Kansas City. There's sixpence. Won over $10,000 on the winter tour in 1963, averaging around 203. This fellow's got a great style, John, don't you think?
Well, he's really smooth, Fred. I think all the younger bowlers should really watch this fellow close because he really gets up to that foul line effortless and a nice loose swing. Take a look here.
Very important. There's the reach. He crowds another one and leaves another six-pin. So Welu, who started with 5 pocket hits, beginning to crowd. Left a 4-pin in the 6th, was on the nose in the 7th and the 8th, breaking up the 4-6 actually, leaving nothing but the 6-pin. So Welu now moving to the left side. Born in Houston, Texas in 1932. There it is. Billy migrated to St. Louis in 1954. Kowalik in the 8th dropped it right in the pocket and left the 4-pin. In appearing on championship bowling like this, John, you feel there's just a little extra pressure than there is normally?
I think this, Fred, that when you first get out there, there's that added little pressure, but once the first few frames are underway, you get away from that pressure and ease up a little bit.
Kowalik moving left. Bobby has 1 double. 1 open, throws. There again. Boy, he's throwing quite a ball over there on the left side.
He's hitting the left side real good, throwing the ball with a lot of speed, a lot more speed than Billy is using.
Well, he had the strike there in the 3rd. He struck there in the 5th, a solid 10-pin in the 7th, and now he has 1 in the 9th to go out on as Welu moves in on the right side. 177, works on a spare in the 8th, has himself a 42-pin lead. There, gave that one a little room. Billy letting that one go out and come back. 197, a chance for 257. He has a 42-pin lead as we go into the 10th frame of the first game of 3. Championship bowling from Parkersburg, West Virginia, in the heart of the Ohio Valley. This is Fred Wolf from the Emerson Lanes along with Johnny Gunther as we go into this big 10th. Both boys on strikes. Welu's out. He's got to hurry. He did not make it. The 1, the 2, and the 10. So being the student of the game as Billy is, knowing that he had been high there twice, he decided to let one ride. It did not come back, and a great chance for Kowalik to close the gap. The 1, 2, 10. This is not a split officially, but we like to always call it a split. It's certainly a difficult shot. He's got it. Great shot. Welu turned it in. In shooting that shot, John, what is the tendency? To move slightly to the outside?
Yes, they move slightly to the right and shoot more or less for the same spot, hitting the Brooklyn side and hitting the head pin on the left side, knocking it into the 10-pin.
Don't worry too much about the 10. Just cover the 1, 2 going away. There it is. Well, Billy made no mistake with that one. So a great start here for the big fella from St. Louis. 237 and $250 in bonus money as Kowalik steps in on the right side in the 10th and a chance for 215. Bobby's only had 1 strike here on the right side. Up on his toes. Here's the turn, and there it is, and he carries. So Bobby has another double and a chance for 215. No chance for bonus money. Bobby can still get 4 in a row, but he'll be 1 short. Kowalik has rolled the 5th highest 3-game total in the history of championship bowling, a 763 series. At Northbrook, Illinois. He opened with 290, followed with 215, and finished with 258. Defeated Pat Patterson in the final, just like that. He has an average of 218 per game for 18 games on championship bowling. You've watched this great show over the years from Chicago, Paramus, New Jersey, Louisville, Kentucky, Chicago Heights, Coral Gables, Skokie, Illinois, Toledo, Ohio, Northbrook, Illinois, and Winston-Salem, North Carolina, and here this year in Parkersburg, West Virginia. Well, Bobby just turned away from that one. Well, he counts the 8 pins and pulls himself out with 213. We'll be back for the second game of 3 from Parkersburg, West Virginia at the Emerson Lanes. This is Fred Wolf. Stand by. There's a lot of action coming. Here are the scores for the first game. Bobby Kwolek, 213. He had 6 strikes. Billy-Welu only had 7 strikes, but his game, 237. Welu out in front by 24 pins. We're ready for game number 2. How about Parkersburg? You ready? All right. Billy-Welu is stepping up on the left side, starting the second game, a margin of 24 pins. He started the first game with 5 in a row, picking up $250 in bonus money. There's the big reach. Oh, he really gave that one a turn, and he leaves the 4 pin. And when this boy reaches 6 feet 4.5 inches, he can get that thing out on the lane in great shape, can't he, John?
He certainly can. He's got a long follow through there. He really puts the fingers into that shot.
He has something that he calls his own grip, John, with the middle finger, the fingertip. There's the cover. And the ring finger, sort of the conventional grip. Did you ever try a ball like that?
No, I've never had the... I've had the opportunity, but I never have experimented with a grip such as that, Fred.
Here's Bobby Kwolek. Bobby is of the semi-fingertip group. There it is. 4 pins stops him. Bobby throwing quite a roller here this week, quite noticeable here. This fella can bend them with the best of them, but he too developing what he call the tight line, which most of the boys are going to, saying that with the lane conditions as they are, it's better to throw the ball on a tighter line than throwing the wide breaker. There's the cover. So Bobby with a spare. What's your opinion on this line type of ball?
Well, I think that's true, Fred. When you make that bad shot with that big hook ball, you leave a bad setup down there. With the line ball, you're going to be close all the time and have those 1-pin spares to shoot at. And naturally, 1-pin spare is going to be a lot easier than those clusters.
Kowalik in the second. Look out. He's too high, the 310. So Bobby has missed his favorite side. The 3 and the 10, it is called the baby split. Very simple in the way of converting it. And that is to put the ball between the 2 pins. Takes a little skill to do that. The ball between the 3 and the 10. Very well done. A great shot by Bobby Kwolek, the young Detroiter, his opponent, Big Billy-Welu from St. Louis. There's a fella that has won just about everything that can be won in the game. Won the National Match Game title in 1959, and he was the runner-up in 63. Big lift and turn, shakes them up, and look at that action. And you could read the labels on those AMF tournament pins as Billy just completely turned them upside down. The margin is now 26 pins. Welu out in front. He is on a strike. We go into the third frame of the second game. Billy got started back in 1946 when he was only 14 years old. He likes that one. Too high. Oh, double pinochle. Billy gave us the double kick there, and the slight leap straight up as he does. He knew he threw that ball the way he wanted to, but I think it moved a little faster than he figured, right through the middle. The 4-6, 7-10, double pinochle. The Brooklyn Bridge. Oh, they call that almost everything. What do they call that out in Seattle, John?
Mostly just the Big 4, Fred.
The Big 4. They're pretty big, I'll tell you that. Welu with a great big split is open. Kowalik now in the third, a chance to close the gap. He trailed by 24 pins going into this game. There's a good turn. Bobby carried. So this young fella who did such a great job on championship bowling in Northbrook, Illinois, trailing Pat Patterson by some 91 pins in the finals, went on to win and win the $10,000 top prize. Bobby's big problem, rushing the foul line. Here's a big one for him. Oh, he didn't get there. The 2-4-5. He dropped that one. How would you describe Bobby's situation there on that ball, John?
Well, I think maybe he drifted just a little bit to the left on the approach, and like you mentioned, his big factor in his bowling is rushing the foul line, and that's perhaps another thing that he did on that shot.
Bobby gets in a lot of steps in a short distance there. He's looks like a locomotive getting started sometimes. Here's Welu. Kowalik leading by 12 pins here in the second game. He trails by 12 overall. Welu sets that one. There it is. So Billy now moves left. Let's see what he can do in the fifth. He just left the big four here in the third. Got to be on his mind. He thought he threw a good ball. He made every move that he usually makes when he feels he's thrown the ball the way he wants to, but the ball made the sharp move, going right through, leaving the big four. This is on his mind. He's going to give it all the room in the world, and here it comes, and this one he carries. So Welu now off and away on 2 and thinking of that $250 bonus for 5 strikes in a row. 4 steps. Got to dig one. He leaves the bucket, the 2-4-5-8. And the AMF spare maker will show you the easiest way to make that spare. You just put the ball between the 2 and the 5 as the arrow indicates, and you should have a spare. Great way to improve your score, learn faster, and enjoy your game so much more. Look out. Well, Bobby, Kwolek did not follow the instructions of the spare maker, so at least you know there's another way to make it. At the end of 5, Kowalik is 74 spare, Welu is on 2. Now moving into the last half of this match. In the 6th frame of the second game, working on a strike, Welu moves in on the right. Billy was a winner of the Indianapolis Open in 1962 on the Professional Bowlers Tour, winning over $4,000 in that event, which included a sanctioned 300 score. Billy likes to remember that one. Hurry up. 10 pin, he got it out of it. Well, there's 3 as the big fella continues to string them out and pile himself up quite a margin. He's added 12 pins to his 24. Billy-Welu started at 14 years of age. When he was 15, he won the Houston High School match game title. Was quite a golfer as a youngster. Never. Well, he got a piece of it, the 2-4-5. So obviously, Welu has not forgotten the big 4. John, a bowler of Billy's type or yourself, when you leave a leave like the big 4, it sort of sticks in your mind throughout the whole series, doesn't it?
Sure, Fred. You leave a bad rail like that, and you remember it every time you get up on that lane.
So at the end of 7, it's Welu 123 with a spare as Kowalik steps up in the 7th, and Bobby works on a very important strike. On the Brooklyn. Look out. Kowalik almost getting away with one. Bobby just a bit disgusted with this situation, although he could have had the 7-9. He wanted that strike to pull himself up with his opponent here in the second game. That strike would have put this game practically even. Kowalik trailing now by the same 36 pins. He has the cover, and he moves to the left side. Bobby was the winner of the Detroit News Motor Bowl back in 1959. Set an all-time record high in ABC tournament competition, league competition. In 1960, doubling with Eddie Labansky, they put together 1582 for 3 games. Kowalik had 814, Labansky 768. The 4-pin again. So Kowalik has left the 4 on the tight hit. Now leaves it on the shaker. Kowalik unable to move that ball very much here. Seems to be trying to line it, and when he gives it any room at all, of course, he doesn't get up there. The 4-pin. Hasn't had an open. Has had 2 strikes. No doubles. The spare. Billy-Welu has a BA degree in psychology. The boys never look Billy in the eye. Look out. Too high, 4-6, and there's life for Kowalik. So Welu seeming to get just a bit lazy here. Would you say, John? He seemed to throw that one like he slowed it down?
Yes, I think so. A considerable difference there, Fred. He really eased up on that ball. The first game he was really turning that ball loose with quite a bit of speed on it, and the ball was really going in there for him.
We're in the 9th. Welu gets there thin, does not carry the 7. Big Bill, they call him. Open in the 8th. He had the big 4 in the 3rd, the 4-6 in the 8th, the 7-pin here in the 9th, and Kowalik now in a position here to keep Mr. Welu busy for the $1,000, which of course goes to the winner for the highest 3-game total. The cover as Kowalik moves in on the right side. Welu started the first game with 5 in a row, and a 4-pin stopped him. He's already picked up $250 in bonus money as Kowalik moves in on the right side. Bobby closed with 3, picked up a double in the 5th and 6th frame of the second game, has had trouble here in the second game. Kicked the 7 out of there. There's some great action when you can crowd that 4-pin and get the 4-7 out of there as Kowalik did. Bobby doing very well here with another strike in the 9th. Let's see what he can do with it. He got 2 in the 10th the first game. To pull out 213, he was practically in this same position. 155 strike. This game, he's 153 strike. A strong youngster from Detroit. He's got it. And Bobby got himself another one. So he has now pulled this game practically even. He had a lead of 3 pins going in. He was on the strike. Welu is on the spare. So it looks like a big finish. Billy-Welu from St. Louis, Bob Kwolek from Detroit. Too high. Too high. That one jumped up there like Welu when he left the big 4. The 4, 6, 7. Bobby thought he threw a pretty good ball there. Did you notice that, John?
Yes, he stepped back and thought he was going to be real close there. I don't think he reached with that ball like he did the first strike in the 10th. The first one in the 10th, he was really reaching with the ball.
Takes the 2, the 4, the 7. So Kowalik gets out of this game with 199. Bobby almost getting the 200 mark. So Welu can still win this game to keep that 24-pin advantage, but he needs 2 strikes to do it. 2 strikes, and 9 will tie. 3 strikes for 200. There's the first one, and he gets it. Well, there's a picture strike. Every pin doing a job, and those AMF tournament pins jumping around for this fella, who has made them jump around for some time. Starting back when he was just 14 years of age, he averaged 156. He's a spot bowler. He takes 4 steps. Can hit a golf ball a mile, but loves to throw the bowling ball. 10-pin this time. So Kowalik will win the second game. A margin of about 9 pins. It looks like 15 pins is all that Welu will have going into the third and final game. Looked like it might be a runaway when Welu started with 5 in a row and Kowalik was open in the fourth of the first game. There's the cover. And that's the story for the second game of 3 here on Championship Bowling from Parkersburg, West Virginia, at the beautiful Emerson Lanes. This is Fred Wolf, along with Johnny Gunther. We'll be back for the third and final. $1,000 hanging in the balance. Don't go away. Here are the scores for the first 2 games. Bobby Kwolek, 213 and 199, a total of 412. Billy-Welu, a great start, 237. His second game, 190. The total, 427. The margin, 15 pins, $1,000 to the winner. Parkersburg, are you ready? All right. Go. Bobby Kwolek, the young Detroiter, facing a deficit of 15 pins. The third and final game, Championship Bowling, television's #1 bowling show, the world's greatest bowlers in action, ready, throws in, and Bobby really carries one and tears them apart, as Billy-Welu knows that he has something to contend with here in the youngster from Detroit. Big Billy, who started the first game with 5 in a row to pick up a $250 bonus. 5 strikes in a row in one game, $250. Every strike on top of those 5 worth 50 more. Welu, well to the left, deep angle, sets one. He's in and he carries. Welu with 427, Bobby Kowalik with 412, as Welu now moves left. Kowalik has had 10 strikes. Billy has had 12. But that 5 in a row, of course, is the difference. Welu being open twice in the second game. There's the big jump. Oh, he knew he threw that one the way he wanted to throw it. As Welu almost left the building here, Emerson Lanes at Parkersburg, West Virginia. Big Billy with that big leap in the air, which he did, of course, in the second game when he left the big 4. And as Johnny Gunther has pointed out, that probably has bothered him ever since. That's why he was working so hard on that one. Kowalik tries to match it. He does. And the boys are off with 2 apiece. So the margin remains 15 pins. Kowalik now to the left side. Actually, this is Bobby's favorite side. He's done much better here than on the right. Billy has had all his trouble on the left. Bobby taking a lot of time here. The wind-up. Look out. On the nose. 3 pin. Spins it around. The AMF automatic pin spotter putting the 3 pin right back off spot. One of the requirements, of course, of the American Bowling Congress. And these great pin spotters by AMF let you bowl at a livelier pace. Much more enjoyment. Welu moving in on the right on 2, and a chance to add to that 15-pin margin. Billy has written many columns. You're liable to see or hear this fellow almost anywhere. Quite a comedian, too. Has a lot of fun living. Look out. Too high, the 10-pin. Almost a 4-7-10. And I believe Billy is satisfied with that. So both boys started with 2. They were both too high. They both counted 9. It'll be 29-49 spare for each. Welu and Kowalik, providing Billy can turn this one in. He has the cover. So we go into the 4th frame. It's going to be a good one. $1,000 hangs in the balance. Here it comes. 10-pin out. Billy really working out there. You don't see this fella jump around this much all the time. I believe he really wants to win this match, John.
I think so, Freddie. He's really throwing that big ball again on lane 37 there. He's turning it out and bringing it back.
Here's Kowalik in the fourth. Be careful. 6-10. Bobby not able to get that ball out in front of him. He seemed to have that one right at the tip of his toes there as he got to the line.
He's a little bit sideways up there, Freddie, and I think this is caused maybe from rushing just a bit. And he's throwing the ball with a lot of speed, so it has to be on the line. The minute he hooks the ball, he slides by the headband.
The cover by Kowalik, this giving Welu some advantage as Billy sitting on the strike in the fourth against Kowalik's spare in the fourth. Here's the young Detroiter who started as a pin boy, Bob Kwolek. On the left, the big turn. Solid 10-pin, and Kowalik cannot afford many of those. Kowalik, one of the few men who have rolled 3 800 totals, all in sanctioned competition. In 1958, in 1960, and again in 1962. 815, 814, and 811. At the 10-pin, Kowalik covers. And Welu will move in on the right side, of course. Now, with the big strike for him, it'll give him practically 30 pins to work on with 5 frames to go. And he's got to hurry. He gets there and carry. Oh, some nice action there, John.
He's really carrying the thin ones now, Fred. Carried that 5 right over to the 7 and pushed it out of there, really mixing him up.
We're at the end of 5. Kowalik is 86 spare, and Welu is on 2. Billy-Welu on 2. Look out, he's too high, and he broke it up. The 6-10, maybe. No, nothing but the 10-pin. Well, Billy started to jump, and then he realized what happens over there. It happened to him in the second game. The big 4 on a strike in the third frame. He's been very careful ever since, but he was right on that same line for the big 4 again, John, and he broke it up.
That's right, Fred. It was identical spot.
At the 10-pin, there's life for Kowalik. Welu covers the spare. So for Kowalik, there's only one way to go. He has got to start the string. Born in Detroit in 1932, this young fella enjoys playing golf, water skiing, and a sports fan in general. That'll have to hurry. Here it comes. Nice action there. So Bobby now, with a strike in the 6th, 4 frames to go, can go all the way for 256. We're in the 7th on a strike. Here he comes. There it is. So Welu now must pay attention as Kowalik hits 10 pins back. The margin now just about 17 pins. Kowalik, with his last chance for any bonus money, he has 3 frames remaining, and he needs 3 more strikes. Welu has room. And here it comes. Nice action here on the right side as Welu matches Kowalik in the 7th, but Bobby with a double. This game is about even. This is Fred Wolf with the action along with Johnny Gunther from Seattle, Washington. Welu in the 8th throws. Look out, he's too high. The 3-6-10, and Bobby Kwolek can now close the gap with just 1 strike here. If he can follow with 2 in his turn on the lanes, Mr. Kowalik could suddenly take the lead for the first time. He's trailed all the way. At the 3-6-10, this one keeps you busy. To the left. Let the ball sort of fall into the 6-10 after hitting the 3. Billy has it. Nice shot. That's a pretty tough shot, isn't it, John?
That's a real tough shot, Fred. They move all the way to the left, and as you said, hit the 3-pin on the right side and let the ball sort of fall into the 6-10.
The margin will be around 5 pins. He throws. He's got to hurry. He's there, and he gets down on his knees. And there was some doubt about that one as far as Bobby was concerned, and that was what we call the old accordion ball. There's what it looked like, didn't it, John?
I think Bobby was a little surprised with that one. I didn't think he was going to get it back to the pocket, but he had a tremendous lift and turn on the ball to get it home.
Well, he seemed to think for a moment it was going to get there. Then he kind of gave up on the thing, and the tremendous satisfying result of that old accordion result on 3. He's in the 9th, practically leading. He sets one. He's there, and he turns it in, and look out, Kowalik. And Bobby almost ended up in the first row, and he has 4 in a row, and he's knocking on the door for the $250 bonus money. Welu picked up the $250. In the first game, he started the first game with 5 in a row. Suddenly, the youngster from Detroit, the winner of championship bowling in the Northbrook, Illinois series, has come to life with a chance for $256. Welu in the 9th is on the spare, sets one, brings it in, and leaves the 10 pin, and Bobby Kowalik is going to go into the 10th frame leading in this match. Johnny Milanese, the manager here at the Emerson Lanes, our statistician. Don't get excited, John. Let me do that. Kowalik actually with 196 in the 8th. If we would give him the 30 against 177, he has a lead of 19. He trailed by 15. There's about a 4-pin advantage here. Kowalik has it. And Bobby is on a strike, and Welu is on the spare. Billy will finish first, so Kowalik will know exactly what he needs. If Welu does not double in the 10th, Kowalik will not need the first strike. If Welu just marks in the 10th, all Kowalik will have to do is mark, providing he gets good counts, but he'd rather get the strike because of the $250 bonus for 5 in a row. That's the story in the 10th as Welu throws. Then look at that action. Well, that's about it. John, if Welu gets this one, he's going to force Bobby to get another one. Here's the real big strike for Billy because he can force his opponent to get another strike. Without this one, all Kowalik needs is a spare. Here she comes. Look out, she's too high, and that's the story as Welu is unable to keep it out. On the nose, leaving up the 6, 9, and the 10, as you can see on the magic triangle pindicator. And along with that, the AMF spare maker indicates to hit the 6 pin, and that should take care of the situation as Billy follows instructions well and settles for 217. Kowalik trailed in this game by 15 pins. Welu has 217, so Kowalik needs 233 for the $1,000. He needs this strike for the $250 bonus money. He is too high in the 4-7. Almost a 4-7-10. And Bobby Kowalik now has got to think about something else because an 8-pin count here means that he's going to need the spare and 9 pins, the way I have it figured, to win this match by 1 pin. 8 pins will tie. There's the cover. So, John, old boy, here we have an important pitch. $1,000. He needs 9 pins.
It's going to be a cliffhanger, Fred. I think maybe he'll, maybe after that last shot he crowded just a bit. Maybe he'll try to stay a little bit on the light side.
What do you think? You think he'll get 9, John?
Might have a tie here.
Come on, a little prediction. Give him 9.
Well, I think I'll give him 10, Fred.
You'll give him 10?
Give him 10.
Bobby Kowalik needs 9 to win by 1 pin. 9 pins, that's all he wants. He's got 9, 1 pin. Bobby is satisfied. And, of course, the $500 difference. A great finish here as you watch the world's greatest bowlers in action every week on the nation's #1 bowling show as you see it on television. Championship bowling from Parkersburg, West Virginia. The Emerson Lanes will be back and have a word with these two boys. This is Fred Wolf. Be right back with you. Here are the official scores for Billy-Welu, 237, 190, and 217. The total is 644. For Bobby Kowalik, 213, 199. A great finish, 233. The total, 645. Did you enjoy this one, ladies and gentlemen? Certainly close. You didn't enjoy it at all, Bill.
Well, I enjoyed it, that 5 in a row, but that one pin I could have enjoyed a little bit more.
Mm-hmm. Now, what happens when a fellow with the caliber you have, you start with 5, it looks like everything is lovely, and suddenly you lose
Freddie, it was all speed for me this week. The lanes were hooking quite a bit, and I just couldn't keep the same speed. I had a real nice speed when I started, and I was a little careful. And you can't be too slow on 37. It just duck hooks. So,
What about you, Bobby? You started slow. You had a little trouble the second game, then you straightened yourself out.
Well, Freddie, I wasn't coming through with the ball first and second game like I was the last game. I tried to follow through a little bit straighter, and I got the ball started a little bit on a straighter line. It wouldn't break as quick.
That one strike, that accordion strike you got, that was a little surprise to you, wasn't it?
It surprised me.
And it surprised Billy, too. And actually, that was the key strike. Well, Billy, as the great runner-up you are, there's your $500 and the $250 bonus money, which your opponent was unable to pick up. But for you, Bobby, and a great finish needing 9 pins to win $1,000.
Thank you, Freddie.
Good luck to both of you.
Thank you.
Hope to see you again on Championship Bowling. Billy-Welu, Bobby Kwolek. Don't go away. We'll be right back because Esther Woods once again. With us again on Championship Bowling, one of the real great All-Americans, Esther Woods. Let's give her a nice welcome here. In Parkersburg, West Virginia. How do you like Parkersburg?
Oh, I'm delighted to be here, Fred. I was here once before and enjoyed myself thoroughly, and I'm glad to be back.
What are you talking about this week?
Well, I'm going to talk about something that I think is real important, and that's women bowling. Don't
Women?
you think so? Women
Oh,
in
I
this
think
game of
women
bowling.
are important, yes, but
Not in bowling?
yes, I think they are, really.
Well, I
bowling.
think they are,
You
too,
want to tell?
Freddie.
I know they are. Would you like the telephone?
Yes, I would. I would like to say, first of all, they usually ask me whether or not it's easier to teach women than it is to teach men. I think it's just about the same. Fundamentals in bowling are the same for everybody. It doesn't make any difference, really. However, we've found out that with women's good sense of rhythm and their timing and coordination in this game, it's a little bit easier for them to learn the fundamentals, and so we're going to talk about some of them. This is a fun game, and it's a sociable game, and ladies, we want you as part of it. It doesn't mean strength. You don't have to have it, and really and truly, age is not an important factor. Well, hello, Kitty. Are you practicing again?
Yes, and I'm glad to see you're here.
You're glad to see I'm here.
Yeah.
Why?
Well, I think I need a few pointers.
Well, I have a couple of good pointers to give you, Kitty, and especially about these two fundamentals that are so important in bowling. First of all, you must have a stance or a position on the lanes, and secondly, you must know something about a four-step approach. Now, if you will, I'd like for you to pick up your ball, and let's come up here on the approach and show me your stance. Get into your position, Kitty. Are you comfortable and relaxed in this manner? You like to hold the ball like this? Well, then let's put your left foot ahead of your right foot. All right, now, let's put all the weight of the bowling ball in your left hand. Keep your elbows in nice and close so that it will ensure a nice straight-arm pendulum swing. Now, this is what we call our stance, and it's important that you get there the same time and the same place every time you throw the ball. Now, if you'll just put the ball down a few minutes, I'd like to take you through a four-step approach. All right, let's try it, Kitty. Left foot out in front. Now, push the ball out, and here we go. Out on 1, down on 2, back on 3, slide, and follow through. Now, let's see you do it. Pick up your bowling ball and get into your stance right out here on the approach. And then I want you to go down into your four-step and deliver the ball. All right, whenever you're ready. Push the ball out on 1. All right, 1, 2, 3, slide. That's fine, Kitty. Very, very good. Isn't that great? How'd you like that,
Very
Fred?
good. Very good. Kitty, I think you'll develop into A star, maybe?
Thank you. I'm looking
I think
forward
she
to
has
it.
lots of ability, Fred.
You work with Esther here. I'm sure you'll be a
I
star
will.
in the very near future.
I will.
Thank you very much, Kitty. And to you, Esther Wood,
Thank
come
you,
back
Fred.
again, please.
Thank you, I will.
Let's give her a nice hand. Repeating the scores, Bobby Kowalik, 645, Billy-Welu, 644. Try to join us again next week when Championship Bowling, television's #1 bowling show with over $75,000 in prizes, will again originate from the beautiful Emerson Lanes in Parkersburg, West Virginia, in the heart of the Ohio Valley. Until then, this is Fred Wolf reminding you once again that you don't have to play a sport good to be a good sport. Matching shirts and slacks used on Championship Bowling by King. Championship Bowling is sanctioned by the American Bowling Congress, and we wish to thank AMF for their cooperation in helping us to produce Championship Bowling.